Hi, this is Ishmael and still on the series of me losing my drone. Today's video is day 2 on another adventure going to locate the drone. So yeah, from my previous video, you noticed that I was praying it wasn't going to, I was praying it shouldn't rain that particular day or that night, the day I lost the drone. And at that point, during that time that I'd been to the village, it was raining season. Like it could rain at any point in time, and it was crazy. We weren't experiencing so much of this rains, especially back in Accra. So good enough, my prayer was heard. God did grant my request. It didn't rain. That was some sigh of relief. Now at this point, I've been able to speak to the managers of that is the forest reserve, and they had assured me of some guards who were coming to assist to go look for the drone. So I felt so much relief. I felt so much thankful to them. Like I was very much excited they were going to do this just because of my drone. For them, they didn't really want to, understand it was just a drone, because they still appreciate the fact that I'd come all the way from Accra to their place to see what they have, and I'd lost something. So they wanted me to still have a great experience over there. So we set off from the village. This is like about from where the village I was residing or lodging at was about so many kilometers. I'll have to check on the map, but it was quite a distance, and most of the time going through these places you have to use a motorcycle. So that was what we used. It took us like about an hour or less, maybe an hour or more or less, right, to get to that same village again. And at this point when we got there were about, how many guards? There were about 4 guards there who were waiting for us. So I met 2 guards on the road. They went with me to the place, and we got there were 4 guards over there. So they actually have a base station behind the mountain where we had climbed that day. And when we got there, so the manager was like, when it happened, one of the guys should have actually called the office to inform them that this is what happened, so that they would have come to assist. But according to the guy that I went with, that was the previous day, he also says that most of the time they all have assignments. You can't disrupt someone's assignments based on whatever has happened. So they might not necessarily mind you because you're not so much like a superior and the rest. So it was good. It was all an experience. So when I got there, I met these 4 people. I was very much excited. Like we're going on like a mission to find my drone. So this was like some sort of a film. Like you actually see videos of it on your screen. At this point, I was showing them the last footage from the drone before it crashed into the tree, before falling down, and then also the GPS that had the straight line to the location of the drone.
See, we say no, we directed towards where the Ahano Bibia when drone or Ahano say. Oh, you do on side, a very position at train, straight line to Bibia.
So after we set out, decided to head towards where the GPS was leading us to go look for the drone. So today is day 2 of looking for the missing drone. Fortunately for us, we are lucky to have other people join us go for the search. So let's see how it's going to go. I'm actually hoping for a positive outcome. So what we have with us here is the map. That's the last flight area, and we also have the last footage. So they've been able to actually identify where it was last flown before it actually fell. Some of these things happen, but so I'm actually looking forward to a positive search. must say, I actually feel a bit special right now because having this trip with me just to go search for the drone, it feels awesome. Yesterday was like something different, and today we're going to search for the drone. So, yeah, I don't know. I think I would have to get to a better place and then talk more about whatever happened yesterday. It was crazy. It was crazy. Right, but thank you. Yesterday was quite a day. How it all happened. You actually get to see the footage from the drone, how it actually fell. It was unexpected, I must say, because I was a bit high, I should say. And one of the trees, unfortunately, you know, if you watch where I was flying, I think I was a bit closer to the trees because of the lack of the sensors. That's to the right and to the left hand side of the drone. It made it a bit difficult to detect that I was actually very close. And when I realized I was so close, it had already crashed into a tree because I was trying to maneuver and see if I could, you know, go past that. But it was rather unfortunate. And now when it happened also, I think the guy that was with doesn't seem to have so much knowledge about the park over here, and he doesn't normally come on patrol. So he thought I had climbed the mountain and I was around the cave area, so he made us go all the way to climb this mountain. It was a very scary moment, seriously, because I was just in my shoes and I wasn't even wearing socks, and I'm told all sort of animals are up in there, but most of the time during the day you won't see animals unless, of course, probably you know, some few times you probably get to see them. So it was very scary, seriously. We went up the mountain to a section where we even had a very steep slope, and man, it was one of the scariest and adventurous moments of my entire life. And after that, you know, happened, we got to the spot. You know, the drone still had some battery level as of then, so we could get some signal. And you could, you know, the drone has this find me option where you're able to turn on beeping sound as well as light to be able to help locate. But it looks like the way we went was a bit far from the drone, so unfortunately when we realized where it had fallen, the battery had died. So our mission yesterday wasn't successful. We couldn't find it and we had to leave it. So come next day, which is today, and so far we're heading towards the region where it fell. So yeah, there's more to actually share, but let's see how today's search is going to go. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to take so much footage at the top of the mountain because I was scared as hell, I must say. Yeah, I didn't plan climbing mountains when I came, but it looked like I had to. So the whole idea of actually the drone was to avoid getting close to the cave because it was a bit bushy. Some of the bushes were actually, the straws were taller than me, like the grass, I mean, were taller than Charlie. We couldn't find the part where most of the time is being used to get to the top over there was filled with a lot of weed, so we had to create our own path. It was crazy. But it's such an experience, I must say, and it was a very adventurous one. I want to advise anyone to get involved in something like this, seriously. Alright, see you in the next one. So we are approaching where the path, they call it a boundary, leading to where. So I think the good thing was I was flying on or along the path, because that was one way I had identified. He wasn't aware of that actually, and so the drone actually fell close to that region, which makes it a bit looking like you're going to have a positive outcome. Having 5 people with me, including myself 6, I actually have the map leading to the place, so I'm looking forward to a positive outcome, seriously, because I actually thought it wasn't worth it going to search for this thing, but they've given me some sort of hope, and yeah, going for a second try and see how that is going to go. Now, if you want to see the mountain we actually climbed, I don't know how best this camera will give you a view of, but that is actually the mountain. We actually got to that level. It's crazy. Like, I don't know if you can see that. The height is how many meters? It could be, I don't know. I can't even, meters, like more than 500 meters. So yeah, we went up there. It's crazy. I must say that these guards were amazing. Like, they knew the forest so well. After watching the video, they were able to pinpoint where they did the trees, like the path, like everything. Like, I was so much amazed. So we went to the point where that particular path was. The tree was a bit in the forest, a bit towards the mountain, like it was a bit on top of the mountain. So we went to the path, and then from the footage we had to go a bit forward from the path, as well as we get to a point where we still have a straight line that leads to where the drone had fallen. So at this point we needed to like walk in a straight line. There was bush, but we were trying to go, and I was guiding with the walk in the forest, because I had the map with me. When you try to turn a bit to the left, the map tries to point towards where the drone is. So if you're supposed to turn to the left, I let them know turn to the right. So we did that quiet for some time. We did walk in the bush for like more than 30 minutes, or close to maybe more than 40 minutes, and then we finally got to the tree, the bigger tree that was like a reference in the video. And at that point, from the map, I was like, we're a bit closer now. And that was so much like, I felt okay. So we got to that point. It showed that we're a bit closer. We went to the point, like we kept going a bit forward because it still gave us some distance from the drone. And at this point, because what happened was what the map was giving us was the last flight point. So that was in the air before it had fallen down. So when it fell down, it fell to a different position. I didn't know that, so we were still following this, and then we got to a point to realize it says we've bypassed it, so we had to turn back, and it was giving us some distance a bit back. Now this wasn't real time, so there was some sort of delays. So it was disappointing because I was sort of the one leading them, even though they were ahead of me, but I was the one directing them towards where the drone was. So when we came back a bit from where we had gone a bit further, we had to come back a bit, and then I told them so it would be best if we are able to spread out. So they had cutlasses with them, as well as weapons. It is always advisable to carry weapons with you when you are going to the forest, because sometimes you don't know what kind of animals or obstacles you're going to come by and the rest. So we had some weapons with us and the rest. But this time around I wasn't so much afraid because I was with more people in the forest. So we kept searching. Lo and behold, one of the guards did find the drone. Wow, so we found the drone. Oh, okay. Wow. 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 So just the side. Okay, it's not severely damaged. Let me see. Okay, it's not damaged.
It's not damaged.
It's just the switch is broken a bit. You can use glue to mend it.
Okay.
But aside that, it's not damaged. Alright. Wow.
That's the camera. So I repositioned the camera. Wow. Sunday, thank you very much. So I think we can go back.
It was on the ground, eh?
Yes.
I love it. I'm feeling it.
You're feeling it.
I'm happy.
But still, yesterday's time was
No,
better.
it was an experience.
Yes.
There's an injury here, but it will go.
No, it's not that damaged.
It can be fixed, right?
Yeah.
It's not that. Is it damaged?
No, it's not damaged. It's just one of the legs that's slightly broken, but it can be mended.
So when we go, we might fix new battery.
And see, I might have to clean it a bit before I fix it. Yeah. So you can get back to there.
Okay.
Are we using the road or you are going to patch it?
You call river, no, but you don't walk it. You call river, no.
So we found the drone. Like this rescue mission was insane. Like, come on, having all these people just go search for this drone. Like, it's really such an experience. Like, I am so much grateful. Like, you can see how I'm sweating. I have had mixed feelings about this whole thing. At first I thought it wasn't worth it going to search for it, especially when we went on top of the mountain. But when I had this team come by, I had some sort of hope to be able to go search for this thing, and we found it. Very grateful to them so much. So well, yeah, I'll stop flying. Alright, bye.
So at that point, I was very much excited. So he gave the drone to me. I tried to observe it. I realized there was some little damage on it. That was one of the parts, which wasn't so much intention yet. But at that point, I felt relieved. Like, I was so much excited. We had, like, our mission was successful, finding the drone. Like, all this was sort of a film, like going to look for a drone and going through this forest. We had to still go through the forest and the rest, and we fortunately found the drone. So I was very much thankful to them. So we came out of the forest and then to the main street or main road, and I was very much like thankful. I was so much excited. We thought, like, our mission to look for the drone wasn't in vain. We got to find the drone. So I actually thank the God so much for coming all the way through to assist in searching for the drone. And there was another tourist site. So at that point I had some sort of strength and some sort of good vibes with me. So when we went out to see that place, that was the Kwai Water River Walk. So the river was actually the place serving as a boundary between Ghana and Togo. So we also went to see that place, and after that I took some videos of that place as well. So you get to see those videos as well on your screen.
So we've come to the Kwai River Walk. So it's actually a border between Ghana and Togo. We're actually at the edge of the border. So what separates Ghana from Togo is just the river, which is just a bit ahead of us. There's actually immigration behind us, so you can't go through the border to either Togo or from Togo to Ghana illegally. You have to go through the immigration process. So we had to go to the river ahead of us. So today is an exciting day because we found my drone, and unfortunately I can't fly now because I need to do some cleaning and then do some small little repair before I can fly. So yeah.
Nobody go there harvest.
and then we came back to the village. So when we got back to the village, I took the drone out, I did clean it, and then I tried to find out what whether there was any severe damage. That was just one of the base that lands the ground that was a bit broken, but I was able to get it back to its normal place, and then I used glue to glue it. Now this is what really happened from what I saw. That was my first observance from the drone. That was when it was retrieved from the forest. When it did crash into the tree, the propellers had gotten back into its like default place. Like when you have the propellers, if you've not spread them wide, the way they are stuck together. So that was what happened. So after I did crash into the tree, the propellers had gone to their normal positions. So that was why I couldn't take off again after so many times or trials I was trying to did take off. And then also the battery had died. Yes, that was from for the longer duration that it had stayed on. So I did clean it, and then after cleaning it, I had extra batteries which were charged. So I did place one in, and then I tried a test flight, and good enough, everything was functional. I felt good at that point. So that was how I did find the drone with the help of the guards. And I must say a very big thank you to all those guards like you see in the video who assisted in searching for the drone. I'm so much thankful. In case you happen to be watching this video, I must say I'm going to actually come back to experience more of your forest reserve, because there's more to discover over there, I must say. And this time around I would come being a very good pilot to be able to fly the drone very well, and then so I'm not going to get into issues like this. So yeah, so a series of advice in this video is that whenever you are going to a place, especially not just to fly a drone, to see a place, to film a place, try as much as possible to see the right authority. So in this place, the park we went to, or the cave, where the cave was in the forest reserve, which had people who were taking over it. So it was good we went to see them before going to see that place. So it is always good to go see right authority. So whenever there is a case or a situation or a challenge, you know whom to report to, and then they see how best they can assist. So in this case, since I did follow the right procedures and the rest, it was easier for them to come assist me retrieve the drone. And then also try as much as possible to be nice to whoever you come in contact with, because you don't know whom is going to be sort of assistance or help to you some time to come. This was something I tried to practice a lot. If you watch one of my videos, especially where I go to the point like the mountains, the hanging village, trying to relate very well with the kids, like get along with them and the rest, and the people also over there. It helps so that when you need assistance or help, these people are so much going to be willing to help you out. So this is how an adventure began, and then also ended. It's more or less turned into some sort of a film in the process, and it was all good, and it was actually a very good experience I had. It was so much like filled with so much adventure and the rest, but it was really worth it at like how it all happened. It was so much worth it. I did get very tired from the previous climb and then the next day, but I was still fit. I've still been fit from there, and I look forward to many more adventures ahead. So that is just about it for this video. I'll be sharing more insights, especially on some of the things I've discovered about the Mavic Air 2 drone in different videos. So in case you are new to this channel, kindly go ahead and hit on the subscribe button, and don't forget to hit on the bell so that anytime there's a new video, you get to see it. And I have a simple plea to make before I go. Now, operating a YouTube channel, especially a tech one, is very much expensive. A lot of money goes into purchasing of gear and equipment to be able to help you go about this. So there are many more gear I look for you to be able to purchase to help making the entire process very easy one, especially with tutorials, with other videos and the rest. So in case you really want to assist or support this channel, there is a way to go about that. You can actually donate to this channel through the link in the description of this video, which is my Paystack account that you can actually make donations to. And then if you want to make donations through PayPal also, there's a way to do that, as well as if there's any other way, maybe through MTN mobile money, any other way you want to do that, I would very much appreciate it, so I could, you know, be able to fund some of these trips or some of these equipment to be able to keep this channel going. So thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.